Jennifer Spaeth, and this is the third video in an installment of a presentation done at the CAIS Southern California Regional Conference. And again, the main purpose was to share structures that can be set up on Google Docs, structures students can set up for teachers, and structures teachers can set up for students to make turning in work simpler, to make sharing assessments simpler. So the first two videos I talked about how to share a folder and a file, and I also talked about students creating folders that they share with teachers and subfolders in terms of turning in assignments. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've set up for student assessment and also for kind of collaborating. So I actually make, for assessments, I have a subfolder. As you can see here, I've made folders by graduate year, and then I kind of have different titles for them. So for each year I have an assessments folder. I have a folder that's called Shared Edit. That's a folder that's shared with all of the class with the purpose of all of us being able to edit them. I also have files that I share with the whole class that I want them to be able to make copies of, but I don't want them to be able to edit. So I call that shared view. I want them to be able to view them or copy them, but not actually edit them. I'm going to start off talking just about the assessments. So in here, and you can see I can also click these little arrows. I can open it up. You can see I have a folder for each student. Now this is a little labor intensive the first time you do it, so I did individually share each of these folders. So I went, once I made the folders, I went to this little arrow and I went to sharing, and so I actually did share it with them, and I shared it with the student as a viewer and not an editor, because I want to be able to put assessments there and they get to see them, but they don't get to change them. For obvious reasons. And if I look in a particular folder, you can see that there's a bunch of stuff here. I'll let you know that these ugly looking PDF files, it's basically a PDF that our grading system spits out that I can drag into their folder, so I can kind of share a grade update with them at any time. Some schools have this functionality so students can see this online anytime. Our school doesn't have that yet, so this is my way of kind of showing them a summary of their grade at any point in time, and you can see there's multiple ones that I've uploaded over time so they can see how they're doing. I also have created some other things. When I do quizzes, I've been using Google has a survey form function, like a database function, and I'll create their quiz that way. And then if you click on here, you can see that I've assessed the quiz. I give green for full credit, yellow for partial, and red for no credit, and have a little explanation and the percent they got or whatever. So this actually shows up in the folder that I share with them, and then they can go and do quiz corrections. I've been playing around with another technique here, which is in the notebook assessments. I have kind of the various categories we're working on, and I'm giving them feedback, and as they improve these bits, I change the color of them, so I can color code it, what their initial score was, what their improvement was, and I'm going to put comments in, and then I'll be able to put multiple notebook assessments in one file, and maybe just kind of grow it on down so that we can see progress over time instead of kind of the assessments being these separate pieces of paper and having to look at multiple pieces of paper to get at the idea of progression over time. So I'm kind of excited about this development. I've just started it, so we'll kind of see where it goes. So that's how I share assessments with them. I think, you know, in time it would be neat to have more of those summary documents that are summarizing their progress kind of in the various skill areas or their progress in the various content areas. But this is a way that I can share stuff. It's shared just with them. I don't have to print out a piece of paper, and they can see it, and I sometimes send emails home saying, I'll send an email to the student, but I'll blind copy the parents saying, oh, you know, the test assessments or notebooks assessments have been uploaded. Please share those with your parents, and the parents know that the student is supposed to share with them. So anyhow, so that's a little piece on the structures for sharing assessments. My next video will be on kind of the structures for collaboration.